Depression, the word we throw around so easily nowadays. That word we use to describe anything from a bad day to an overwhelming inability to live life. But as anyone with depression knows, it is much more than any one word can describe. It's not uncommon for young individuals to get the blues or feel down in the bumps from time to time because of the numerous physical, emotional, psychological, and social changes that occur throughout this stage of life. Adolescence is often an unsettling time.
As you are aware, depression is profound in teenagers in this age. However, what really is depression? Depression can be described in a variety of ways. It is a significant mental illness characterized by productive bouts of sadness, loneliness, and other bad emotions. It gradually takes over a person's life until they forget how it all started. Depression occurs when everything appears to be too difficult. When you're so depressed, the things you used to appreciate is no longer bring you light. Furthermore, depression is crucial in someone's life, even to adolescents. It affects adolescent thoughts, feelings, and action, leading to emotional, functional, and physical problems.
According to Mental Health America, the prevalence of adolescent depression is rising at an alarming rate. And according to research, 1 out of every 5 teenagers has clinical disorders.
High-risk factors. People who face misfortune in their lives such as unemployment, bereavement, traumatic experiences are more likely to develop depression over time. Depression can exacerbate a person's life situation as well as depression itself by stress and dysfunction. As depression grows wider, there are numerous factors that contribute to individuals' case for depression and anxiety. Women are more likely to depress than men, which experts believe is attributable to hormonal variable. I'll talk about the most prevalent reasons of depression in this video. The condition can be caused by genetics, biological, or environmental reasons. So, here are the things that can lead to depression. Genetics. In this factor, you are more likely to experience symptoms of depression if others in your family have depression or another type of mood disorder. Genetics may increase your risk, and environmental influences may then determine how likely you are to develop depression. Brain chemistry. The theory of depression suggests that having too much or too little of certain neurotransmitter causes or contributes to depression. To treat this kind of depression, treatments often focus on altering the levels of certain chemicals in the brain. Some of the treatments includes selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors and monoamine oxidase inhibitors. Certain medical conditions, if you have chronic illness, sleep problems, thyroid problems, you are more susceptible to depressive symptoms. Substance abuse can exacerbate depression, and some prescriptions medications have been related to illness. Stress. It could be about job, school, or everyday life. Stressful life events that overwhelm a person's ability to cope can lead to depression. Researchers believe that high levels of hormone cortisol, which we secrete during stressful events, may affect the neurotransmitter serotonin. Next is poor nutrition. A poor diet can lead to depression in a variety of ways. Depression symptoms have been linked to a number of vitamins and minerals deficiencies. Grief and loss. Grieving people exhibit many of the same symptoms as depressed people after losing a loved one. Loss can include difficulty in sleeping, a loss of appetite, and a loss of pleasure or interest in activities. Grief symptoms are intended to fade away over time. However, if the symptoms worsen, grieving might lead to depression.
Behavioral factors associated with depression. If you ever wondered how adolescents' conduct can influence and add to their risk of depression, you're not alone. Negative actions can have an impact on depression, so the answer is yes. According to Pamela Cantor, PhD, there is a substantial link between high-risk behaviors and depression. Many people strive to avoid unpleasant feelings that depression can bring up. Interestingly, UCLA researchers discovered several behavioral possible risk factors that are statistically significant predictors of depression. Smoking, obesity, limited physical activity, and a less healthy diet. Smoking. The association between smoking and depression is well-established and constant. Nicotine causes the neurotransmitter dopamine to be released in the brain. Dopamine is involved in the elicitation of happy emotions. It is frequently discovered to be low in persons who are depressed, and they may turn to cigarettes to temporarily boost their dopamine levels. Smoking boosts adolescent smokers' emotional well-being, and they are more likely to develop depressive symptoms. The link between sadness and smoking is more prevalent among teenagers who smoke to feel better. Obesity. According to Roger S. McIntyre, MD, obesity and depression have a bidirectional relationship, meaning that obesity appears to cause depression and depression appears to cause obesity. Obesity in adolescents often leads to teasing, which can lead to depression in obese youth, who then experience increase in dissatisfaction with their appearance. Obese female teenagers are also more likely to experience body dissatisfaction, which can contribute to depression and a low sense of self-worth. Limited physical activity. Teenagers will be protected from mental illnesses such as depression if they engage in more physical activity. Physical inactivity has been related to an increased risk of depression later in life. Physical activity has been linked to depression in teenagers, so this could be because it decreases inflammation. Physical activity also allows for more social engagement and the development of social skills, as well as serving as a stress reduction approach. In addition, sleep issues, a lack of energy, and physical inactivity can all contribute to a low mood and mood swings. Less healthy diet. Teens who consume meals high in sodium and low in potassium are more likely to develop depression symptoms. According to a recent study from the University of Alabama in Birmingham, diet appears to be a modifiable risk factor for adolescents' depression, according to study. Teenagers who consume a poor quality diet have an 80% likelihood of acquiring depression. Getting your teen to prioritize his or her diet can feel impossible at times. This may appear to be the best opportunity to eat poorly. Each extra risk factor raises the incidence of depression, and the risks that are associated most closely connected to depression alter with age.
Impacts or effects of depression to human behavior. Adolescence is a stage of human development during which we make some of our most crucial life decisions. However, depression in adolescents can have a significant impact on their lives, particularly in terms of their behaviors. Here are examples of adolescents' behavior, varying from major depression. Sleep excessively. Adolescents frequently complain about being too tired during the day. It's crucial to note that oversleeping might be a symptom of depression, but it's not the cause of depression. However, it has the potential to intensify and worsen. Depression symptoms furthermore excessive Daytime sleepiness is linked to poor school performance. Interpersonal difficulties, school meets or family extracurricular activities and help in this particular demographic. Get in trouble at school. Preteens and teenagers frequently have school issues. They are a natural part of school life's ups and downs. School issues might arise at any time. They might be large or modest in size. They may go away fast on their own, or they may persist and require assistance from you or other adults. When someone suffers from anxiety or depression, and they use the majority their mental capacity to develop and process disturbing thoughts, this can make it difficult for the pupil to focus on positive thoughts and weary them, lowering their learning abilities. Self-this conduct isn't confined to young children. Teenagers engage in it as well, because they haven't always learned how to communicate their dissatisfaction in a mature manner. Simply said, it is effective for them. Depressed teenagers will sulk, and being sad can exacerbate the sickness and ruin the lives of adolescents. Low esteem. When someone has poor self-esteem, they avoid circumstances where they might feel, embarrass themselves, or make mistakes. This can include schoolwork, meeting friends, and trying new things, all of which are essential components of a healthy adolescent's life. Negative feelings continual. Self-criticism can lead to persistent feelings of melancholy, depression, and anxiety and rage, humiliation, or guilt, which can all lower a person's quality of life. Anger, annoyance, irritation, and even wrath are all natural human emotions. Teenagers are also prone to having strong feelings. Teens that have furious or violent outbursts may be exhibiting symptoms of a behavior condition such as conduct disorder, or the anger could be a sign of depression. Conduct disorder is more common in male teenagers and is characterized by aggressive, rebellious, and confrontational actions. Adolescents with conduct disorder will disregard rules and limits and will be disruptive at school or in social situations. These teenagers show no sorrow for their acts and refuse to accept responsibility for them. If a teenage isn't accompanied by these characteristics, it's more likely a sign of sadness.
Depression has become a major threat to human health, and researchers around the world are actively engaged in research on depression. During the period of 2004 to 2019, a total of 157 countries have conducted research on depression, which is about 67.88% of 233 countries worldwide. This shows that depression is receiving attention from many countries or regions around the world. According to the latest data from the World Health Organization statistics in 2019, there are more than 350 million people with depression worldwide, with an increase of about 18% in the last decade, and estimated prevalence of 15%. It is a major cause of global disability and disease burden, and depression has quietly become a disease that threatens hundreds of millions of people worldwide.
Health issues are becoming more and more important to people due to the continuous development of healthcare. Depression is one of the most common mood disorders. It causes persistent sadness and limits a person's ability to go about their daily activities. However, depression is treatable and people can recover from it. All you have to do is first learn about depression. The more a person knows about depression, the more empowered they will be to find a treatment that works for them. Second, talking to someone. Reaching out to loved ones can help people get through difficult times. Third, keeping a journal. Writing down thoughts, feelings, and problems can allow individuals to identify patterns, triggers, and warning signs relating to their depression. Fourth, see a doctor. Seeing a doctor for depression. Fifth, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness involves focusing on the present moment. It stops people from concentrating on the past or worrying about the future. Lastly, spending time relaxing. Feeling stressed and overwhelmed contributes to feelings of depression. Taking time out to relax can mitigate some of the effects of stress and help restore a person's energy. Overcoming depression is complicated. It drains your energy, hope, and drive, making it difficult to take the steps that will help you to feel better. Depression is unlikely to go away on its own, especially the teens or adolescents. However, it usually gets better with treatment. All you have to do is open up to your loved ones or closest people. Then it is very important to seek help, to help professionals. Don't be afraid to voice out what you are feeling inside. You are loved, appreciated, and you are listened. You can control everything. Sometimes you just need to relax and have some faith that things will work out. Let go a little and just let life happen.
Dear Depression, I wanted to write a letter to you in the hope we can come to some sort of agreement as to where we both go from here. I have written to you many times before, in the days of despair and the days of hope. Today is one of my good days when I can find the strength from within to speak to you forcefully, concisely, from the head and from the heart. And if needed be, I can also speak to you aggressively, just to enforce my point. But, seeing as we are now old friends, I shall try to remain diplomatic at all times. Let me start by complimenting you on the wonderful public relations team you have working for you. How you manage to cause so much pain and heartache to so many people and not get negative reaction in the press is a testament to the work they do on your behalf. How you get away with creating stigma against those of us who suffer is nothing short of remarkable. When we are on better terms, perhaps you can tell how they do it. Exactly. How is it that you manage to turn the tables on people so that they are seen as weak, hopeless, worthless, and even on the verge of taking their lives? Because you won't let them breathe? How come you are still not seen as a major illness? You are when you are so many people suffer because of you. I saw firsthand how you destroy someone with no regard, no remorse, just a relentless charge through someone's persona. Watching someone so vibrant, loving, outgoing, and confident become a shadow of the person that I love was horrible. To make someone change in such a way, and the worst of all, to do it over a long period of time so that they are not aware of it. How do you do that? You came to me over a 2 to 3 year time span. I knew you were there, but I was not ready to acknowledge your existence. Unaware of the strength I need to halt you on your path of destruction, I allowed you to control me and my feelings until that day when you almost beat me. The truth of the matter is that I was a beaten man, but I did not want you to claim me as another victim. I fought back. I am lucky in that sense, but others are not as fortunate as me. It's so hard with your uncanny knack of pinpointing someone's weakness and going straight for it. The good news for me and the bad for you is that now I'm on top. Without you, I would not be writing something I had a passion for. As a young boy in school, you steered my creative juices and made my mind awash with ways I could defeat you. Now I am ready to help others defeat you. And most of all, I am ready to show others how the weakness comes from you, not themselves. Truthfully yours, Gary.